Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Good morning. Good morning. I got my cup of coffee, and we have got a live stream for you today. We got to take a peek at what is going on with Bitcoin, which is dancing with the very critical level of $35,000. If we can break above it, we got to take a peek at what comes next. We got to look at the overall market cap because there's a game going on called How High Can Bitcoin Dominance Go? Bitcoin is exploding. Altcoins not moving as fast. There are some outliers. We have money moving into the market. New money coming into this market. Altcoins aren't performing as well as Bitcoin, which makes me think that altcoins are still flowing into Bitcoin as well. Some others want to argue that out there, which is fine. We just want to look at the story of where are we at? Is this bear market over, and is this bull run really starting off right now? Well, you could argue yes, and you could also argue it's only the beginning and it's not a true bull market yet. True bull market is previous all-time highs getting broken. We'll explore that a little bit. Maybe we'll put a vote out in the chat later, but let's get into this because there's a couple things that seemingly everybody's talking about. Something that moved the price of Bitcoin back up. Yesterday, Bitcoin dipped down and then all of a sudden spiked back up towards 35K. Why? We'll look at that today because there is a lot going on. Guys, if you like this content, tap that like button. Join me and ask me some questions in the chat. Glad to have all you here with us today. So Bitcoin right now, guys, is moving up. It's moving back up. It's currently at 34,700. Yesterday, the high was just at 35,000. Look at this. Bitcoin's up 22.93% in the last 7 days, up $150 billion in a market cap. Can you believe it? In just 7 days, 1.5, well, actually $150 billion flows into one coin. That shows you what can happen in these markets. What you'll also know, and Ethereum's above 1,800, which is spectacular. What you'll also see is, notice this. The fear and greed index, guys, the fear and greed index. What do we say? We say when it's in the orange, when it's in the red, we are buying. We're dollar cost averaging in these areas of fear. And then when you get into the greed, what do? We typically take profits, guys, but you don't want to take too much profit too early, of course, because then you miss a bull run. If the bull run really starts and we really start to go and have gains like this on a regular basis, week after week, month after month for Bitcoin, this thing's going to stay in the green. But I do know from my previous experience in these markets, there will be another time before we get into a full-fledged bull market where this fear and greed index sweeps back down into this orange and this yellow at least. Maybe we don't see the red again. Maybe the days of the red are over. But there's a strong chance, guys, that we're coming back down into this orange at some point. There's going to be another event where Bitcoin slips. Let's be real. Now, how's that going to go? I don't know. But when you see an article that shows you that Crypto Fear and Greed Index hits its highest score since November of 2021, that's 2 years ago, guys. That gives you a sign that things are looking good. Okay? Things are looking good. We're moving in the right direction. We're moving out of our bear market. But it just doesn't go straight up and stay in the green forever. We could easily come back down to the red. Now, what does that look like? I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but there's a couple things we can peek at to get an idea of where we're at. Good morning, Sushi, Satoshi. I see you in the chat, my brother. Glad to have you. Thanks for joining. Here's one thing I want to look at. Got to go back to the total overall market cap for crypto. The overall market cap for crypto is at 1.24 billion. Remember, Bitcoin has a 53, almost 54% dominance right now in the market. So half this thing, over half this market is Bitcoin alone. So why did this thing come shooting up? Because Bitcoin had $150 billion blast into its market, which moved this market cap up. Here you go. That's essentially what you're seeing here. Look, 1.1 trillion, down here, I guess let's say 1.07 trillion. To 1.24 trillion. That's like 1.8 trillion. That's like $150 billion that flowed in, which is basically Bitcoin. That's why we see Bitcoin dominance going up. This big green candle, this big green monthly candle, by the way, these are monthly candles, that shot up for crypto is basically thanks to Bitcoin. Now, altcoins are rallying too, which is spectacular. But the overall market cap of crypto from bottom to top has about a 24% gain so far this month. Now, I want you guys to notice this. Look at these lines. So you can see back in, and we were tracking this, guys, because we did videos, obviously, back in April. Good morning, Matt. It's Wade Les Crow. We're loving the pumps. Couldn't agree more, my brother. Look at this, though. We were back in April doing videos, doing live streams for you guys, and you can see that we were looking at this $1.27 trillion. And I said back in July, we were looking for a breakout in July to go above this level. If we could break above this level, then we can take a shot at the $1.33 trillion market cap level for Bitcoin and crypto, and then we'll see if we can break above that. Well, in July, that didn't happen. Now, here we are in October, and we slightly broke above that with a wick. Now, the body of this candle is settled back at this resistance that I've had drawn for months and months and months and months. I haven't been showing this chart as much, but if you look back to some of my videos from a couple months ago, I was sharing this chart daily when we were trying to, back in July, when we were trying to break above, I was focused in on this because this is a key level that I wanted everybody to keep an eye on. But here we are stuck at this, $1.25 trillion market cap. If we break above this, and we already had a wick above it, well, then we can easily move to $1.33 trillion and have yet another $150 billion, $100 billion flow into these crypto markets. And guys, there's a chance that we see a move kind of like this. I mean, really, look at back what happened in this previous bull market. What happened? We had the bear market came in, it's 2018, bull market ends. You go into a bear market, we have a rally upward, and then we kind of get rejected down, and then we kind of come back up into a real bull market. Here we are, we come up, we come down, we come back up, we kind of come down, but is the question is, the real question we all have to ask ourselves, is this the equivalence of this? Because this is a lot smaller than this. The pain here isn't even close to the pain here. And I just don't see a world where Bitcoin doesn't continue to show max pain. It's hard to say. So what I think we got to acknowledge is there are some possibilities. One, that this right here was this. That's possible, guys. If so, very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. We can just start breaking out right now, and who knows, we might be past all-time highs by January. A spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved. Everybody that's so bullish on the spot Bitcoin ETF will finally be justified, and we can go off to the races, and maybe we hit that. Now, acknowledge, guys, when we get back to 3 trillion, this could be major resistance. This could be major resistance. We haven't really seen that in the past. Bitcoin, when it breaks previous all-time highs, shatters it typically, but nothing has to be exactly the same each time. It's never exactly the same. That's the mystery of Bitcoin. It's always something different, right? But so one possibility is that this move right here was the same as this move, and now we are moving up into a bull market, just kind of like that right there. That could be coming right now. We could just see, boom, something like that. It's possible. It's possible. It'd be great. It'd be great to see. The other side to that coin is that this right here didn't happen yet. And if this fake out, rally up after a bear market, dip back down, didn't happen yet, then we are in for something pretty painful. And that's just crypto. Remember, the Fear and Greed Index is at the highest level since November 2021. I believe that it's coming back down into the yellow or orange. At some point, that could play out in a couple ways. Maybe Bitcoin rallies up to here and comes back down. Then we're okay. If Bitcoin and crypto rally up to 3 trillion and come back down to like 1.36, that's going to bring us back into the fear. You can rally further up and then come back down low, but not nearly as low as we are at current dates. That's how the Fear and Greed Index work. It's not like directly correlated to any price. It's just the sentiment in the market. And so we can go break out to all-time highs and come back down, and the Fear and Greed Index can happen where it goes into the orange and the red. It's possible. I don't expect us to hit the red again. That's possible, but I definitely expect the orange and definitely expect the yellow at some point again before we hit a full-fledged bull market. It wouldn't make sense for me to see Bitcoin just go straight up to the moon with no stops along the way. I expect more pain. That's what Bitcoin does because Bitcoin wants to wreck greedy traders, which we've seen historically, and we'll take a peek at that in a second. But if Bitcoin stops right here, or let's say Bitcoin has this rally and rallies a little bit further. Maybe we go up to, 2 trillion, or maybe we go back up to right around here at like 1.7 trillion, and then we come back down. Maybe we come back down to these levels at 1.2, and then that's our fear and greed index breakdown into the red and the yellow, and then all of a sudden we move back up. These are the possibilities that I'm looking at right now. Looking at the price of Bitcoin, some craziness has been happening. So yesterday, just like the overall market cap paused. Obviously, so did Bitcoin. Bitcoin got all the way up to 35,200, which is incredible on a wick, and then came back down because of a couple reasons. Let's look at it. One, this is a key level. It's very difficult for Bitcoin to break 35,000. That might happen, though, in the hour. That might happen on this stream. We're moving up right now. It's very possible, guys, so I'll keep an eye on this while we're going along. The S&P 500 actually just turned green again a little bit. The weekly candle for the S&P 500 turned green. It was red earlier this morning. S&P 500 is coming down. Bitcoin's moving up. That makes me believe, it's going to be tough for Bitcoin to break 35K. But let's look at some of these other stories here. So what I want you to see, guys, and I'll go back to the traditional market in a second. Everybody was focused on this yesterday. What you're looking at is a list of exchange-traded funds, as is listed in all the tickers for all the exchange traded funds on the market. And when you look through this list, there is a lot. But believe it or not, there are a lot of crazy people out there watching this like a hawk every single day. Well, how could you possibly watch this and catch anything? How are you going to keep track of all this? Well, all you got to do, honestly, let's look for some Bitcoin spot ETFs. I'll go command find, and I'm just going to search. Actually, I could search Bitcoin and I could find something there, but I'm just going to search the tickers that I know what they are. So I'll just check. What did I have here? ITBC. I think I lost it now. IIBC. Is that what it was? Now I lost it. Well, let's go. We'll just show you this one. I'll show you ARCA. So now what you're looking at is ARK Invest's 21 shares Bitcoin ETF. It's listed, guys. It's listed. It's not active yet. It's not actually approved yet. But these listings for multiple of these spot Bitcoin ETFs right now are getting listed on this sheet. And so everybody on Twitter does show you guys that Bitcoin is getting ready for a spot Bitcoin ETF. The traditional market is prepping itself for a spot Bitcoin ETF to really come along, guys. It's really going to come along. It will happen at some point. The big question is still when. And that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on for Bitcoin. Now, I think that this excitement is driving us up because what happened, guys, is yes, you're seeing all those names on this list right now, which is why this is rallying. But right yesterday at this time on this red candle, nothing was on the list. Let me talk about it, guys. It was on the list first, and then it fell off the list. In other words, everybody in crypto on Twitter was freaking out that this vanished and that this was a fake signal that nobody should have been talking about. It vanished, and the iShares Bitcoin ETF listing got pulled off the ETF list. Everybody freaked out. But then it was brought back on, it was relisted, and then we saw all the others get relisted as well. And so what do we get now? What do we get? We get an absolute ridiculous rally out of Bitcoin again today. And right now, guys, this thing looks like it's going to do the thing literally right now. I mean, wow. We are watching it right now, looking for the moment where Bitcoin breaks above 35,000. We are so close. This could be happening maybe even on this hourly candle in the next 3 minutes. Don't take a trade on my speculation. Do your own research. Choose your own things, guys. Looking for a breakout. And see, and this would be a very dangerous leverage trade. It really would be, because this thing right? Doesn't this thing look like it's about to break out? Absolutely. Long it. Right before it breaks out, I'm going to long it, man. Are you? Are you? Because really, isn't it smarter to short resistance, short 35K and long support at 32K, or long support off 30,500 if we bounce back down there? I mean, you can do anything you guys want, but these are some of the things that I think about, some of the things that I look at, and I like to make sure people are aware of. Because one thing you don't want to be, guys, is, look, you can trade and you can make a bunch more Bitcoin, you can make a bunch more money, and you can be way better off positioned for a bull market because you're a great trader. But the opposite is true as well. You can become a terrible trader. And if you are a terrible trader, or you have a couple big bad trades right before the bull market kicks off, then you're going to be kicking yourself so hard, so sad, because you missed out on the moment where Bitcoin actually did break above 35K. Because let's say you long it from here and Bitcoin taps 35K, you don't take profit, and then it breaks back down, and then you get liquidated. If Bitcoin bounces off 32K and then rallies straight through 35,000, you're going to hate yourself. Because then you just lost a bunch of Bitcoin, a bunch of money, whatever you lost in a big way right before a real rally came, and you just would have been better off holding Bitcoin. Now, this rally is happening, guys, because all of these ETF listings are on this website right now. This whole rally started because of fake news, which I hate. The fake news about the spot Bitcoin BlackRock ETF. I hate how this rally started, which makes me believe that it's fake. Maybe that's the wrong sentiment right now. Maybe this thing's just destined to explode and we're in a full-fledged bull market now. That's possible, but I like to keep myself cautious. If I was a trader right now, I certainly would not be trying to long this, because that is a scary moment. A moment where I've tried to long something like this in the past, and it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. You're much better off using resistances and supports, and you long the support and you short the resistance, and typically you're going to have the best success doing that. But it would be certainly exciting to see Bitcoin shatter this $35,000 price level. Of course, we will need to see the overall market cap continue up as well. So we'll see how that plays out, guys. A lot is going on in this crypto market right now, that's for certain. I do like to keep an eye, though, on the traditional market as well. The S&P 500 is up right now on its weekly candle, moving upward. I think it is interesting to watch. Now, people are fearful because of bonds selling off right now. Something's going on with Google right now that's spooking others in the market. But I think there's a bigger story that's a more bullish story that we need to be aware of. Recently, in the United States, we have been without a Speaker of the House during a wartime. We're not currently technically directly engaged in a war, but there's war going on in the Middle East, obviously in Ukraine with Russia. And we don't have a Speaker of the House, which is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And that's causing uncertainty in the markets, no doubt in my mind. I think that is one of the main reasons why the S&P 500 is struggling so hard right now to make any decent moves in October, which is typically bullish, especially as we lead into a presidential election year. We get bullish years. But now Mike Johnson is getting nominated. Yesterday we had a nomination, and he didn't get the spot because he didn't have enough votes in the Republican Party. He was the nominee, but he didn't have enough votes. It's all very confusing. But regardless, they had one, and then they didn't, and now they got one again. Let's see if this actually goes through. If we get, and I don't care who's who, what's what, Republican, Democrat, point is you can't have a speaker, you can't have no Speaker of the House. And we're about to get one for the Republican Party, and we're going to have one. And you need people filling all the seats in government so that the government can get their job done. Government can't do their job properly, and the economy freaks out when the government can't do their job properly. So you need a speaker to get filled in. This could be very bullish. Once this is approved, I think that we're going to get a market rally. I really do. We'll see how it goes. But that's something that I'm keeping an eye on, guys. Another thing I'm keeping an eye on is these liquidations, because I got to remind you guys, this is going to be the thing that moves Bitcoin the most. You can have news stories that start the rallies and start these moves, but at the end of the day, it is the leverage traded liquidations that move these markets up. How did Bitcoin explode from 27,000 on fake news about BlackRock so hard? Because everybody believed that it was going to go down. And so what happened? Greedy short traders had short positions out there thinking Bitcoin's going down, which maybe it could have. Maybe it could have. But there were so many shorts and so many people believed that it was going to go down that when some fake good news came out, the shorts got wrecked, and that basically caused the market to explode upward. A short liquidation event drove this market up. And then the next day, you had another $150 million worth of shorts liquidated. In 2 days, we had $500 million almost liquidated on the short positions, and even a couple $100 million worth of longs that were eliminated as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see at 35K if we had a big long squeeze coming out. So be aware for that, because again, I think that we will see the chance that we have some greedy people. And what are those greedy people going to do? I think that there's going to be some people that long this, right? And here we go. See, the hourly candle just ended, and now our next hourly candle is already turning red. It can happen. We can break out, and longs can make money hand over fist here. And I hope you do if you're longing. I love people who long Bitcoin. Long in Bitcoin is my favorite. It's turning green again. Maybe we're moving up. But there's going to be people that long this, and maybe it gets rejected, and that's when you have another long liquidation. And then we boost back down to 32K, or we burst back down to 30K. These things could happen, guys. Those are the things that I look out for, but that's where you get the biggest moves in crypto, and that's where you get your best buying opportunities, and that's where you also, get your best opportunities to take profit when things start blasting off. When a full-fledged bull market comes, it's liquidations every day. It's big liquidations every single day. In the meantime, altcoins are struggling, but Crocoin moving up. Crocoin is moving up right now. I'm looking at the daily candles. We got like 6 green days in a row for Crow, which is one of the longest rallies we've had in a row for Crow in a while. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're like tied back for June when we had this little V-shaped recovery. It was very exciting. What happened, though, we came back down. We could certainly come back down. It's certainly a possibility. Anything's on the table, guys. But we do have a couple green candles in a row. And this blue line was acting as resistance. It potentially is acting as support because, look now. See, guys? This green wick came down, bounced off the blue line, and now we're moving up. Look at the moving average here. We got to break above this moving average with the body of this daily candle, and we can get a move up towards 6.6 cents. That would be spectacular. I think if altcoins start rallying, it's because Bitcoin. The reason this is moving up right now is because of the Bitcoin story, guys. Bitcoin's rallying. Bitcoin's trying to break above this $35,000 mark. Look, it's currently at 34.8. Here we go. It's trying to do it. We're waiting to see if it's going to happen. In the meantime, though, I don't expect altcoins to outperform Bitcoin. And I think we got to stay reasonable with a reasonable head on our shoulders there and just keep an eye on it. Anything could happen here, guys. Anything could happen. I'm going to go out back to Bitcoin because this is really fun to watch and see what's going on in the 15-minute candles. Look at how close this thing is to getting back up there. It's absolutely unbelievable how close it is while we're on this live stream. We are looking for that breakout. Hard to say. 10 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. Looking a little red. There is like nothing, almost nothing holding this back right now. Just really this 35K level. It's a scary level. All of a sudden, I could flick away from this page and Bitcoin could just rally through and just absolutely explode. So that's something we got to be aware of at any moment, guys. At any moment. 6 cents certainly in play. I think we hit 6 cents yesterday for Crow, which was great to see. But just remember, altcoins versus Bitcoin. There's XRP coming down versus Bitcoin. What else can we look at? I'll look at Crow versus Bitcoin. Still coming down. Look, Crow versus Bitcoin. Gosh, this is one of my favorite predictions. I mean, it hurts because okay, you got a lot of Crow. Well, maybe you should have had it in Bitcoin, right? These are the thoughts that you can think. These are bad thoughts. Don't think these thoughts, guys. You buy an altcoin because you believe it. And if you really believe it, then you hold it for the long term. But we are really, guys, only 13% away from what I think is the absolute worst case scenario. It's what I think is the absolute worst case scenario for Crow versus Bitcoin. I hope that's true. 13% more is nothing in the grand scheme of things for Crow to underperform versus Bitcoin. If then we get the rally, this would be the most insane rally. Can you imagine a rally of Crow 1,000% versus Bitcoin? That happens in bull cycles, guys. It happened here. It happened here. It's going to happen again. You just got to be patient. Crypto.com is to continue to do the good work that they've been doing. But the story is Cronos falling against Bitcoin. Binance is falling against Bitcoin. Ethereum is falling against Bitcoin. Everything's falling against Bitcoin. Binance is going up in regular price. Crows going up in regular price, but they're falling against Bitcoin. That's how it works, guys. That's just what we do. Good morning, Boujou. Welcome, guys. Let me know what questions you guys have for me, by the way, what your thoughts are on everything going on in the market right now. It's a very interesting time. Bitcoin's trying to break out right now. That's what we're watching for. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it, folks. Let's see here. Yep, 34,820. Trying to do it. So close. So close, everybody. How we doing, fam? Where are we feeling? Do we feel that Crocoin can get back up to 12 cents? Do we feel Bitcoin actually should break $35,000? I'm very curious what your thoughts are out there, folks. I want to know what your sentiment is, how you're feeling about this market right now. Are you trading? Are you leverage trading? Are you feeling greedy? Are you feeling FOMO? Do you feel like you missed out? Were you buying this dip? Because a lot of people got a pit in their stomach right now. And they're going, man, I can't believe it. I should have, I should have bought more. I just should have bought more. That's why we do this content. We've been talking about dollar cost averaging every single day because it's the strategy where you don't have to have that pit in your stomach, right? It protects you from feeling the pain of FOMO, because you don't have to FOMO if you did the right thing, which was accumulate the asset that you love and that you don't want to miss out on when things start turning up. Yeah, guys. So Bitcoin's getting close here. I don't know if it's gonna happen on this stream because I get a jet pretty soon, but I think we're gonna see one more touch at 35K, and it's like a coin. Honestly, guys, it's like a coin toss to me. Battle hardened, ready after watching the bear market. Yeah, well, Sushi, you ready? You went through the pain. You went through the battle. Oh, watching the crypto report. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I really want to get you guys battle ready. I appreciate you said that because, like, what can happen is you can easily get into this frenzy mode where you start, getting greedy and you start gambling and you start, I've done it. Look, in my 20s, I gambled with some of this stuff because it was fun. It was so fun. It's really a bad idea, though. You're better off holding. Not to say I lost everything or I lost every time, but I lost typically more than I won when I traded. But I never lose when I hold. And I've done way better holding than I have on the trading. And honestly, any trade that I've lost in the history, I just wish that I had that money still. And so, what I don't want anybody to do is I don't want anybody out there to get that thing that happens to us in crypto where the bull market's blast. Let's say Bitcoin breaks above 35K tonight and you just watch it and you just like cry that you don't have more, or you go out there and you're like, oh, it's breaking out right now past 35K, and you open up a leverage trade and it's a bad trade and you get wrecked, or you just can't sleep and you can't stop thinking about it. Take the constant thought of where's it going to go, what's next out of your mind. Just enjoy the ride. I'm in sales, okay? I'm in sales. And I see somebody in the chat, Boujou, buying more MicroStrategy stock. Dude, you're going to make money on that. Dude, you're going to make so much money on that, I think. That's going to be great. I mean, not a financial advisor, but yeah, I think that MicroStrategy stock's going to be fire. Here you go, guys. See, what if you were longing? What if you took a long right there at 34.8? Here you go. Boom. Big red candle out of nowhere. Why? Because we're at resistance. You short resistance, guys. You short resist. Don't short it. I'm not telling you to short it. It's not financial advice. Don't take my advice for trades, guys. You got to do your own research. You can take my word with a grain of salt, and you take the opinion over here, and you take this news article over here. You look at your technical analysis over here, and you can make your decisions there. But I don't like a long from this position. I've made that clear. I don't like a long from this position. Heck, I don't like leverage trading personally for me at all. I like the dollar cost average. But I want everybody to stay strong, stay calm, just like Giant Weed said in the chat. Stay strong and stay calm, because what's so easy to do is you see it break through 35K and then you go on a frenzy and you start leverage trading, you start panicking, you can't fall asleep. I want you guys to have a good night's sleep every night. And one of the best ways to do that is to just create a long-term portfolio where you just hold it for the long term. And then one day Bitcoin's going to be well gone from these levels. One day Bitcoin's going to be so high above 35,000, it might be at 350,000. Heck, one day Bitcoin, in my opinion, is going to be at $1 million. Don't think for a second, guys, that I'm not a huge Bitcoin bull. I come out here and I give realistic thoughts every single day, and I think some people don't like that. I think some people want me to come out and say, Bitcoin is going to break $35,000 today and explode into infinity and beyond, period. It's a fact. People want me to say that. I know that that's what people want me to say. And the fact is that I feel comfortable saying that at some point Bitcoin's going to break $35,000. There's a chance that anything happens. I always have to acknowledge it. But I believe with all my heart that Bitcoin's breaking 35K. Does it have to be today? No. Could it easily be today? Absolutely. Look at the momentum Bitcoin has right now. It's incredible. But I don't ever like to come out and say Bitcoin is 100% going to do this. Bitcoin's 100% going to do that, because that's a fool's position to be in. That's a fool's position to get wrecked. That's an easy way to get wrecked. You have to be cautious. You have to get in, get out. You got to take your profits if you're trading, not thinking it's going to keep going up and you're going to keep making money on that trade and it's going to keep printing gains for you, because it won't. Trust me. At some point, if you, especially the higher the leverage, the more likely that trade is to go in the opposite direction for you guys. It's a dangerous game, and I want everybody to hold their positions and keep their bags. Bitcoin's breaking down right now a little bit. Doesn't mean that this thing ain't breaking 35K today. I do think there's a chance. But I also believe more so that this is going to be a hard resistance to break through. I would like to see a healthy retracement off 35K, if I'm being honest with you guys, because I want to see healthy momentum. But hey, you know what I'd be cool with seeing too is let's just zoom out here. I'm on the 15-minute candles. I'm going to go back out to the weekly candles here just to get a better look. Look at the crazy weekly candles we have. It's absolutely magnificent. I would love to see this too. Bitcoin shatters 35K, goes up to 47, and then comes back down to like 32 or 30, and that's the pain. And then a healthy rebound. Because then what happens, guys? Then we can say that we had this moment. This is the moment from the last bear cycle into the bull cycle that I want. I want a big rally. I want so much excitement, almost out to all-time highs, but it didn't happen. And then a death rally. I don't want a death rally for anybody, but that's what Bitcoin does. And Bitcoin, in my opinion, needs to do that before we go to a full-fledged bull market. I'm not going to move off that position. I could be wrong about that. I would love to be wrong about that, because then we get rich a heck of a lot quicker. Woohoo! That'd be great. But I expect to get wrecked one more time. And if Bitcoin moves to 47K, which is certainly possible at this rate, and then just goes back down to 30K, there you go. There's your wrecking opportunity. That's where the fear and greed index comes back down into a reasonable level, back into the orange, back into the maybe even in the red in that moment. And then I'm ready to submit that we're in a full-fledged bull market. But I need one more whip up, whip down before I can say the bull market's here. I need one more whip up and whip down before I can say the bull market's here. Bitcoin could break 35K today. Maybe it can shoot up to 45, 47K in a jiff. Maybe we reject off 35K. I don't know, guys. It's either way. You know, I got to be just here. I got to acknowledge both sides of the trade. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't be doing the right thing for you guys as an audience. Mr. Wade says, do you think it's too early to start accumulating altcoins? I'm definitely starting to feel FOMO for altcoins. I sold most of them into Bitcoin recently, so my portfolio is now 100% Bitcoin Crow. Well, it's a good question. That's a great question, Mr. Wade, asking, is it too early to buy altcoins? You know, it's a better time to buy altcoins now than it was before Bitcoin had this rally, because Bitcoin dominance can't keep going up, right? So now, what's our story for Bitcoin dominance? Well, Bitcoin dominance, guys, is at 53%. How high can Bitcoin dominance go? It can't go to 100%. It can't go to 90%. It's not going to go to 80%, in my opinion. Could it go to 60%? Could it go to 70%? Maybe. I'm looking more like just shy of 60% dominance, 55 to 60% dominance. And so in those moments when Bitcoin kind of peaks out, technically that is time for altcoins. And so it's a great question, Mr. Wade. I think the clock is hinting that we're getting closer to that time to buy altcoins. We're getting closer to that time, but there's still a chance that Bitcoin outperforms most of those altcoins. And so I like that you're saying your portfolio is 100% Bitcoin and an altcoin, which is Crow, and I love Crow. I got so much Crow. But, you know, it's tough to say. Pepe's up 20%. Look, I think that altcoins are going to be big at some point again in this next bull cycle. And so eventually, if you're here for the long term, you know, look at Crow. For example, I believe that Crow is going to have that, let's look at it again, that 1,000% rally, right? So, like, let's say Crow bottoms out. Here's a good example. We're getting so close to the bottom, so Crow, is it just going to rally right off? Probably not rally right off, just 1,000%, you know, boom in a snap of a finger. That's never going to happen. But you can see what did happen is it had a nice, in 2 months, 300% rally versus Bitcoin. So, like, that could be a moment we see coming for Crow. Now, Binance is an interesting example where it doesn't quite look the same. It doesn't look like a big rally is coming for Binance just yet. And so you got to do the research on the individual altcoin there, Mr. Wade. But it's a great question. And I to kind of answer it, I think it's getting closer, but I don't think it's the absolute time yet. So I hope that helps you out. It's not financial advice though. Northeast Philadelphia in the house. Welcome, Philly. It's 2J3 in the chat. Welcome, 2J3. I feel like you're always catching the end of the streams, 2J3. I don't even know what time to do these things at anymore. I wanted to do them at 8:30 a.m., but frankly, the audience is much lower at that time, I think, because my East Coast guys are awake, but my West Coast guys are still sleeping, and I don't know what's going on in Europe, but still trying to figure out exactly what the best time for these streams is. But that's all I got today, though, guys. I got a jet. I got deals to close. I got tacos to eat for lunch. My office is great. I love my sales job. Oh, I was talking about this earlier. I got sidetracked. Get off the roller coaster, guys. When it comes to the emotions with crypto and Bitcoin, get off the roller coaster. I'm in sales, and with sales, you have a roller coaster. You got a lead. You got 3 leads. You got 5 leads. You got, out of those 5 leads, one of those leads is huge. And then all of a sudden, that huge lead goes goodbye, but you still got the other 4 leads. When that one huge lead goes away and you lose that opportunity forever, don't break your own heart. Don't get caught in a state of depression. Don't be all sad. Focus on the other 4 good things you got going for you. And maybe know that 2 of those things could fall through too, but at least you still got 2 deals coming through. Maybe Bitcoin's not going up past $35,000 today. Maybe you just had a bad trade and you got liquidated. But don't let that stop you from your bigger picture here. We want to be long-term investors here. We want to make a generational wealth in this asset class. Don't ride the roller coaster of the everyday price action for Bitcoin. Don't do that. You won't sleep well at night. I don't do that for sales. I try not to do that with the Bitcoin markets. I want to talk you guys off that cliff of emotions with Bitcoin and crypto. Focus on the long term. Know that it's a bullish asset class. Know that we're feeling good, guys, because we are. If you're not feeling good, then we got to do an emotional cleanse for you. And we'll keep working on that, guys. That's all I got in this one, guys. 2J3 though, Central Time, waking up at 9. Okay, well, you know, eventually, guys, I'll probably be doing like more of the, I don't know. It seems like everybody stream at like 11. I don't want to compete with the other streams. I did those dinner time streams before. Maybe those were working a little bit better. I might go back to that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate the feedback, Mr. Wade. Good to see you, 2J3. Love that. Love that chimp, that Cronos chimp right there. Chai Stocks fan for life. Thanks. Bitcoin dominance is getting to 69%. We'll see. That's all I got on this one, guys. I'm Crypto Kip. This is the Crypto Report. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, folks, you got to remember to DCA HODL. I'll see you next time. Peace, guys.